Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the last class, we have started another topic called routing protocols in WSN. Okay, so basically the routing is same for all kind of network. The only difference is that how the routing is performed in different types of networks individually. And we know that for perform any routing operation, we need routing protocols. So basically, the routing, the process of routing, how it going to work is fully depend on the routing protocols, or what are the possible scenario or possible way to perform a routing. Based on this, the routing protocols are designed. Okay, so today we are going to discuss classifications of routing protocols. So that means we know that WSN is basically designed for real-time applications to collect the information in real time, and for real time we cannot predict the environment or predict the situation previously. So that's why we need different types of network, types of protocols that can be accommodated in different situations. Okay, basically in sensor network we have three types of routing protocol. The first one is called, suppose, flat and data centric routing, like wireless ad hoc network. Basically for mobile ad hoc, we have classified the routing protocols into four categories depending on their mechanism. Similarly, when we come for the sensor network, because the mechanism is different, how routing needs to perform in mobile ad hoc is different from how routing needs to perform in sensor network, because the components are different which are going to perform the routing, or their characteristics are different. So that's why, like mobile ad hoc or normal ad hoc, wireless ad hoc, WSN, in WSN routing is also classified into three categories based on their mechanism. The first one is, suppose, flat and data centric. The second one is called hierarchical or cluster based. And third one is called location or position based routing. Okay. The first one is called, suppose, flat or data centric. Second one is called hierarchical or cluster based. And third one is called location or position based. That means these three type of routing protocols are available in wireless sensor network to perform the routing operations in different scenarios of sensor network. Okay. Now, what is flat based routing? Okay, so flat based means, in suppose in topology we have different types of topology. One topology is called, suppose, bus. That means the serial. In bus also, when we discuss bus, it is found that the nodes are perform their operations simultaneously. So similarly in flat-based routing, what happened? All the nodes are working at the same time. Suppose there are 10 nodes and we are using a flat-based routing protocol. That means all the nodes are working at the same time. That means in a network using flat-based routing, we can accommodate only a single task at a time. Since all the networks are performing all the nodes are performing the same task, that means every node must be assigned the same task. Otherwise, it will be not possible to find out the final result. Okay. The next, in case of cluster and hierarchical, what happened? Since in this procedure, we cannot accommodate the entire network, or the size of the sensor network may be very large, and it is not possible to allocate same tasks to each and every node, or sometimes it is not necessary for all the nodes to perform the same tasks, because I assume that the node ABC should collect the temperature, then node EF collect the pressure. So in that case, to make a division among them, we need to create some clusters, small regions, and we can assign tasks according to the region. This is called cluster based routing. Means for a particular cluster, it may be of single node, it may be of multiple node. This cluster is going to perform as assigned by the. এতিয়া শুনিছানে? Actually, the network now,
Yes, sir.
from few days, the network is very bad. So basically, what happened in cluster based? So we form some clusters, small regions, and assign tasks accordingly. So that means, like flat base, it is not necessary that all the nodes must perform the same tasks at the same time. The characteristics of the task or the type of the task can be vary among the nodes. This is called cluster or hierarchical based. The third one is called, suppose, location based or position based. So it is all about the position of a node. Okay, the position of a node. Based on the position, we can communicate or we can perform the routing. Suppose we have a list of nodes, but out of this node, I need the information from a particular node, a particular one node, or particular 2 or 3 nodes, or n number of nodes. So why to involve all the nodes for this communication? Because once we instruct someone that I need informations without pointing someone, okay, so in that case, everyone is going to participate in this process. And we know that in sensor networks, we have to work with, in not only sensor network, in the all ad hoc network, but especially in sensor network, we have to work on a very limited energy, limited power. So that's why we have to avoid the unnecessary operations. We have to preserve our energy, so that when times comes, when appropriately I have to work on something, that I am able to perform the task. So that's why in location based development, we point out these nodes, or based on this location, I am going to evoke the particular node that you have to perform, or you have to collect this information from its surrounding, from your surroundings. So this is called location based or position based routing. So that means we have different situation. We have a situation where all node, I need informations from all node, and I need the same information. Suppose in our traditional exam suppose. Okay, what we do, we distribute the same question paper, and everyone is giving the same answers. Everyone is writing the answer of the same question, and we are going to evaluate. Okay, so in suppose in MCQ or something, the online exams, the questions may be shuffle. The questions are shuffle. Okay, but again in Viva I can point out the roll numbers or particular students. You give the answers. So is something like that. If I'm not going to point out in 5A that you need the answer, is everyone is shouting. So that means the students who know the answers, they can give, but the students who don't have the don't have any idea about the answer, after listening from the others, he or she can also give the answer. That means there's no point of judging them. So that means we have different types of scenarios. So accordingly, different routing protocols are designed to perform these operations. Okay. Now, right, classifications of routing protocols. Right, ensuring a successful transmission ensuring the successful transmission of the packet of a packet ensuring a successful transmission of a packet between source and destination comma routing is the main reason behind it. Okay, the next paragraph, routing protocols are classified into three different categories. Routing protocols are classified into three different categories according to the network structure. According to the network structure. Different categories according to the network structure. Full stop. These are These are number one, flat and data-centric routing protocol. Flat and data-centric routing protocol. Number two, hierarchical or cluster-based routing protocol. Flat or data-centric routing protocol. Hierarchical or cluster-based routing protocol. And third one is location-based routing protocol. Now, right? Number one, flat-based routing protocol. Flat routing is a multi-hop routing. Flat routing is a multi-hop routing. Flat routing is a multi-hop routing where all nodes work at the same time. Where all nodes work at the same time. Full stop. While the network is usually large, while the network is usually large, while the network is usually large, all nodes are to be assigned. All nodes are to be assigned the same sensor or same sensing tasks. The same sensing tasks
Some nodes are to be assigned.
are to be assigned the same sensing tasks. Advantages. In advantages, right? Good for small networks. Good for small networks. Number one, uh, offers high reliability. Offers high reliability. Next, best path routing helps to reduce control packets. Best path routing helps to reduce control packets. Disadvantage, does not support high mobility. Does not support high mobility. It does not support high transmission rate. It does not support high transmission rate. Next, hierarchical or cluster based routing. So in cluster based, right, nodes are unable to communicate to a very large distance. Nodes are unable to communicate to a very large distance. Full stop. Therefore, cluster-based or hierarchical routing becomes a good solution. Full stop. So in this routing scheme, different clusters are created. Clusters are created and cluster heads are assigned. Cluster heads means who is the in charge of that particular cluster. Suppose in class you have a mentor. So that means if any faculty or other member of any class wants to communicate with that particular class, we have a mentor. Through the mentor we can communicate. Different clusters are created and cluster heads are requested. Cluster heads are assigned. Advantages. Number one, reduce unnecessary routing packets. Reduce unnecessary routing packets. Reduce unnecessary routing packets. Number two, hybrid routing reduces wastage of bandwidth. Minimize control traffic. Minimize control traffic and decrease collision. Disadvantages. Complexity occurs due to selection and maintenance of cluster heads. Selection and maintenance of cluster head. Okay. This is all about advantages and disadvantages of cluster based or hierarchical routing. So any confusion till this point?
No, sir.
Okay. The next one is suppose location based routing. So I will continue the location based routing in the next class. Okay.